Yeah, so we're excited to be here in Ponte Vedra Beach, opening up a center where people can now receive intravenous NAD plus that we've been utilizing in my practice for many years with tremendous results. And NAD really is this magical molecule, and I don't say that lightly. There's tons and tons of research academically about what NAD does to help the mitochondria, help us prevent aging, cancer, diabetes, help with traumatic brain injuries, helping people with anxiety, depression, addiction, really helping to rewire the brain, the whole neurochemistry. And, NAD is becoming more, larger part of the mainstream conversation about how to optimize one's health and performance. So we're excited to bring it here where people have this really unique setup of getting intravenous NAD, combining it with fitness, helping people really look at multiple aspects of their health as a way to better themselves. And intravenous NAD is really a powerful tool for really anyone looking to help their nervous system heal, helping to improve their performance, helping to overcome conditions such as depression, anxiety. We use it in our office. We do lots of treatments every day of the week for years and years, and this has been the most transformational therapy that we've ever encountered so far. So we're excited. So I'm Dr. Koniver. I'm based in Charleston, South Carolina, and been using different intravenous therapies, using vitamins and such intravenously for years and years to help people with a multitude of disease processes. And then probably about, 10, 15 years ago, we started on this path to be proactive and help people from a wellness perspective, really with the goal of helping the well become super well. Not that we don't help people who are sick or have disease, but we also want to help so many of us who don't necessarily have some, long-standing condition, because really for a lot of us, we're struggling with ways to kind of get that edge to do better, be better. And, we found some really neat tools, one of which is intravenous NAD, to help push the needle farther, faster in ways that other therapies don't. And so I developed one of these IVs called a fast vitamin IV, which is a unique blend of vitamins, minerals, amino acids that we push over 30 to 60 seconds. And we started combining that with intravenous NAD multiple years ago. And when we started doing that, things really exploded in terms of how people felt, helping people transition from a place where they felt good to a place where they felt super good. And as well, helping people who, aren't feeling well and getting them feeling much better faster. And I think in this day and age where, we're at a time where there's so much stress, we have so much on our plates, we have so little time, people are really looking for a very effective and efficient way to feel better. And intravenous NAD really provides that path to do so. And so we've been training physicians and clinics for years to bring these different protocols, and now we're doing just that here in Jacksonville. So as people probably are starting to read about NAD on the internet, they hear people talking about what it does for them. And one of the key components of the treatment is that it doesn't feel good. It's uncomfortable. And when we give people NAD, we actually increase the NAD to NADH ratio. This is something that's happening in the mitochondria. The mitochondria are the little batteries of the cells. Most people have a misconception that there's one mitochondria per cell, but there's actually thousands, especially in the nervous system. And those mitochondria are responsible for taking fuel, things we eat, supplements we take, whatever, and making energy. And we all need energy to do whatever we want to do, whether it's think a thought, throw a football, whatever. And what we found is over time, we become less efficient at making energy. Energy is in the form of ATP, a molecule that allows us to do whatever we want. And so that research has also shown that the rate-limiting molecule for making energy is NAD+. And so when we give people NAD, we actually increase the NAD to NADH ratio, and that stimulates something called mitochondrial fission. Fission is the splitting of mitochondrial DNA, and it's actually the cleanup of defective mitochondrial DNA. Well, that process is a negative energetic process, and what we think happens is when we're giving people NAD directly, we're really stimulating that process, and as a result, people start to feel uncomfortable. They get stomach cramping, chest pressure, they may feel their legs feeling heavy, they may feel agitated. All of that is completely normal and expected, and it all goes away once we turn off the IV. But it's a necessary part of the treatment. I think of it like cellular exercise, right? Exercise isn't necessarily fun while you're doing it, but you know the benefits pay off when you're done. Same thing with NAD. It's uncomfortable while you're sitting there receiving the treatment, but when you're done, after you do several treatments, you're going to feel so much better. Yeah, so NAD stands for nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. It comes from two dietary sources. One is tryptophan, the other is niacin. Both of those, niacin and tryptophan, are in highest concentrations in animal protein. So people who don't eat any animal protein, particularly vegans, will struggle to be able to make sufficient NAD. Not that they can't, but they're going to struggle. And people who eat animal protein will have an easier time. That being said, from the aging process, from stress, from taking different pharmaceuticals, we wear down our ability to recycle these nutrients, wear down our ability to keep making a sufficient or abundant supply of NAD. NAD then is through, a biochemical reaction in the mitochondria, is converted to NADH, and the resulting, kind of side effect, if you will, or effect, is making ATP energy. And so NAD does many, many things, but primarily it makes ATP energy. The other thing we found that it does, it's involved in certain gene-regulating events in the body that contribute to aging and disease. So people are familiar with intermittent fasting or caloric restriction. And what they found years and years ago is if we caloric restrict or give ourselves less calories over time, we can extend lifespan. That was found in yeast. It's been proven in smaller species, and then extrapolated to humans that if we, again, reduce calories, we will extend our lifespan. All of that goes back to an NAD-dependent reaction. So with less NAD, we live shorter lives. And therefore, the opposite is true. If we supply NAD, the thought is we can extend our lifespan. As well as we know, as having more NAD, we help prevent diseases like cancer, neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's, dementia, those things that people really worry about. I tell people that everyone is a candidate for optimizing their NAD function, but who does it most would be people that we see who are more of, how do I say it, people who are busy, people who are stressed, people who want to get more out of life but find it difficult to do so with conventional means, meaning they've changed their diet, they try to work out, they think they're handling their stress, but they're still left feeling kind of blah. Right? And that could be professional athletes looking for an edge. It could be high-end executives. It could be busy moms. But it really pertains to really any adult who wants to optimize their health and performance. We treat equal number of men and women. I don't think that matters. And we treat people across ages. We've treated people as young as 12 into their 90s. What's really amazing about this therapy is we've never, ever had an adverse reaction. So we've never had someone calling back, getting a rash, having anaphylaxis, going to the emergency room. Never, ever. There's no medicine contraindication. So it's very, very, very safe. And so people ask me that a lot, like, who's the target candidate? Honestly, it's everyone and anyone who's interested in, improving their health. Anyone who's interested in leading a more quality of life, preventing disease, aging more gracefully. So what do we expect from getting the treatment? Well, the highest concentration of mitochondria live in the nervous system. So this is where we see the benefits first. So typically after people do a loading dose, we break up NAD therapy into a loading dose and a maintenance phase. After the loading dose for most people, which is going to be 5 treatments, people report kind of uniformly. They sleep better, they can do more with less sleep, they handle stress better, they're in a better mood. they just feel better overall. There's kind of an amplification. People say the colors look brighter, languaging is easier, things just click and they become much more efficient in everything in their life. And because of that, people really like that feeling. And because they like that feeling, they want to continue it. And again, if you look at different therapies that people, invest money and time to, NAD is probably the most powerful in taking people from that place of feeling well to super well. We see it also in terms of performance because the second highest concentration of mitochondria in the body is in the heart cells, the cardiac cells. So this is where we treat a lot of professional athletes who are looking for that edge, right? Because they can do more with less. And as a professional athlete, anything you can gain in that regard is going to be a boost to how you perform in that arena. We treat a wide range of clients, like I alluded to, professional athletes from multiple sports. We've treated Navy SEALs who really can benefit. They've been blown up multiple times. They often have a PTSD. NAD is wonderful, again, for reorganizing that brain chemistry. And when you do that, you help people feel better. And what's also really cool, which we didn't really say, is NAD is totally natural. So we're dealing with something that's not a pharmaceutical, again, very, very safe. So professional athletes, Navy SEALs, then, all sorts of demographics in terms of men, women, children, people with cancer, people trying to prevent cancer, people with dementia, Parkinson's, people with big bad diagnosis, like I said, and then probably most would be people who are well, who want to be super well, and that's the weekend warriors, people who are CrossFitters. It tends to be people who seek this out, tend to be people who are into biohacking and want to, figure things out in ways to improve their health and performance. It was Monica, yeah. Yeah, so Monica and Alive by Nature and wanting to collaborate and wanting to be able to put together a program for people where they can not only, benefit from taking these different types of supplements, so you don't have to do an IV every day, combining that with intravenous NAD, because that's really the key. We were talking earlier about it's not just one way to reach the mountaintop. It's going to take a constellation of different things at different times. And now, putting this together, as Monica has so amazingly, it's really going to be needing the opportunity to combine fitness, working out, taking different supplements, doing IVs, and really exploring that entire space. So it's going to be a really unique opportunity.